All right, everybody, how are we doing? Welcome into the podcast, the live podcast. It's kind of weird to say, but we're gonna go ahead and try this out there. So, yeah, welcome on in, everyone. I'm joined as always by my compadre there, Mr. S. Dan Wolf. What's up there, buddy? Are you unmuted? Are you here?
Oh, Drew, what's up, buddy?
There he is. Nice. That worked flawlessly. But yeah, so welcome in, everyone. Hope we're having a fantastic evening or morning or whatever it is, wherever you're listening to this. I'm trying to fiddle around with my YouTube live studio thing. I'm not fully used to this yet. But yeah, so we're going to be doing our, there we go, our Take2 podcast. We're taking it on the live road there. So yeah, we're excited to jump in.
Yeah, I think you're spoiling me with all this with this live streaming all of a sudden. I am new to this world, but I'm like quickly becoming addicted.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know, Mr. S. Dan had his not very first, but basically his reintroduction to the world of streaming last night, and he's basically an addict now, just like he's addicted to D&D. So we have another fix for him, which is streaming. You might just be a natural at that as well. So
I know, man. I kind of have the urge like to come home every evening now and just like stream for a quick hour.
it's fun hanging out with people, isn't it? Like that's kind of the main
That was
thing of it.
really cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was way cool and different.
Right. Yep. You get to kind of hang out with the community and just kind of chit chat and stuff like that. Yeah, it's a nice little thing to do.
Instead of sitting here just kind of talking to myself.
Right. You may as well have someone else talk back every once in a while. So, so before we get started, I don't know how many people have rolled in here yet, but before we get started, we just want to mention that while we're doing the actual podcast part of this tonight, we're thinking we're gonna split it up into like two sections, basically, where we're gonna do the podcast first, and during that we're not going to really look at or read the chat or anything, and the reason just being is because we want to keep this still like the natural flow of like the Take2 podcast, basically. And if we read chat every like 2 seconds, it's going to kind of break everything up. So yeah, we're not ignoring or anything, but we're just wanting to keep it Take2 podcast still, but in a live sense. And then, but then afterwards, once we're done with the podcast, because it shouldn't take too long for today, we'll go ahead and jump into like a thing where I'm kind of building in Thornton Hills Zoo, and we'll just kind of hang out and chit chat then, and like catch up and everything. So yeah, so that is the plan, stands. So let's go ahead and not waste too much time, and we're gonna jump into today's podcast. So let's go ahead and kick it off there, my friend.
All right, Drew, one of the things, I guess if they, we probably need to, let's get Prehistoric Kingdom out of the way first, because I know they probably see us and we've been kind of hot and heavy on this over the last week.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
That is definitely, if something was to get us hyped in 2021, it is Prehistoric Kingdom. It's like a weird hybrid of Jurassic World Evolution and Planet Zoo kind of had a baby, and we are living for it right now.
That's, yeah, no kidding, right? The last, like, yeah, I'd say like week or two, ever since that trailer dropped, like we just been kind of Prehistoric Kingdom central. It's been on our mind. So that is, yeah, for the 2021 games coming up, I'd say Prehistoric Kingdom is boom right focus for us both. And we're not gonna talk about it too much because we've like definitely talked about it till our ears are blue or whatever, but yeah, it's definitely, again, it's still pretty much at the top, or if not the top, for both of us there for 2021 games.
Yep, and let's see, Mr. Drew, looking at my notes here, did you want to mention Manor Lords next?
We have to mention that.
Did you have another one, or?
No, go ahead. Yeah, let's mention Manor Lords, and then we'll circle back to some other stuff there. But yeah, you kind of turned me on to Manor Lords there a bit, so.
Yeah, Manor Lords, single dev, like medieval city builder, and like I said, that's probably the most impressive thing about this, because if you didn't know anything about it, and I just like showed you the Manor Lords trailer, you would think some studios behind it, but no, this is just some dude, and he's being helped like with some audio, issues, and getting a soundtrack and stuff going for the game. But for the most part, this guy is developing it itself. And what I was telling Beyond Drew a couple days ago about the game is it seems like it's taking like all of our childhood games, from Age of Empires to Civilization to Stronghold. It's like just an anamorph of all of those games put into one, and I am really excited for it as well. And the dude is super engaging on Twitter and all that stuff. Like, he will comment back to you and answer your questions. So, and for me, I think Drew too. That's always a big thing. It's one thing to be creating a game, but how you're treating the community and what your communication skills are like that is important to
Yeah,
us.
no,
That,
that's almost half the recipe right there, isn't it? So, but yeah, no, like Esteban was saying, and I have it up on the screen here, kind of showing off the website and everything. But yeah, this is really like a culmination of a bunch of different games kind of just smashed together, and it looks like it doesn't look messy, right? It looks actually like it's gonna work out pretty dang good. And like right here you can see the organic city building, and these aren't the first guys to do this or anything, but games like Ostriv and Foundation have really made this organic city building kind of come back and everything like that, or make it really popular. And yeah, the Manor Lords is going to kind of carry that torch as well. And if you don't know what organic city building is, it's basically you plop down the road, and around it stuff will kind of populate, like houses and businesses and stuff, as long as the conditions are correct for it. And I love that kind of thing where you don't really have to necessarily, you can still plop things down like houses and stuff, but you know, you don't have to like completely just rely on, you know, gridding it out or zoning and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, when you think of Manor Lords, think of non-grid. These kind of games
no
do
kidding,
not
right?
believe in that.
Right,
And
right.
like you said, Foundation was really kind of put the spotlight back on these non-grid organic type of city builders. And I'm like you, I am definitely here for it. And it's so much more like, just punch behind it when you know a single person. I mean, look at the large scale battles this guy is putting together. Like, you get Total War vibes out of
No,
it.
exactly. That's exactly what I get, is totally Total War vibes, updated and upgraded for 2021, basically there. So yeah, if you're into city building, if you're into management, if you're into, I mean, the second thing here is historical realism. You know, they really look like they're taking that all into account there. And like I was saying, it's one developer, which can kind of be scary, but for me, that's like, okay, we have one person with one goal in mind, and they know what they want to do.
Make the best game he can. And it seems like when you have these single developers, it's like personal to them. They don't want to,
Absolutely.
they don't want it to crap its pants. They they know what they're doing if they have the wherewithal and the just kind of like the drive to create a video game by themselves. I think that is very commendable right from the start.
Right, absolutely. So yeah, again, Manor Lords, I don't think there's like a lot of hype. I don't want to say there's no hype or anything, but there could definitely be a lot more hype behind this game for a lot of people that follow our channels, because I think this is a game that's going to tickle a lot of niche. I mean, look at the battles and everything like that. I mean, I'm a city builder and a builder at heart, but man, the battles look like so much fun. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah, this guy, he's got a lot on his plate though too. I mean, that's just from the city building to the battles to the balancing to the trade, it's quite a lot. So I mean, maybe he knows what he's getting himself into. Like I was saying a couple days ago, I think he comes from a game development background. Like he actually works for a studio right now. I believe he's from Sweden. But this is kind of like his passion project. So really, really cool.
Right, absolutely, definitely. So next up, though, we're going to go ahead and talk about a game that is definitely not small or anything like that. I'm sure we've heard of it before. It's called Paralives. So Paralives, now we should first mention that we both don't think Paralives is going to come out next year. Right. But you never know. There might be like alpha builds or like pre-alpha builds at the late end of next year kind of thing. But realistically, like the actual game, like consumer game that everyone will get, we're probably going to be heading more towards 2022. But we still need to talk about it because, I mean, again, it's on everyone's tongues, right? Everyone's talking about Paralives.
Right. I mean, even up into last August, Game Informer's title for Paralives was "Why Paralives is Looking to Be the Sims' New Rival Game."
See, yeah.
That's saying a lot, especially when, Sims, this mega corporate EA monstrosity of a giant franchise, and a 4 to 5 person studio is looking to be their new rival, with catching attention from like Game Informer and IGN. I mean, just this is something special. This is one of those titles where Drew and I have definitely tried to, keep our finger on the pulse and keep up what's going on. And actually, Drew, I had mentioned to you before, I'm actually a Patreon of theirs. I throw them $1 a month, just because they let you in on so much behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah,
And
no, I
that
did.
is
This is the only game I've ever done that for as well. I've never I've only given $1 as well, but it's when they did Maggie, and I was like, yeah, I'd love to see Maggie beforehand and everything. So, yeah, no, these guys are they are fan. I'm trying to get just a few things up in the background here so y'all can see what the game is all about if you haven't seen it yet. But yeah, no, they're another one where it started with just Alex, I think his name was. Just started with one developer. Yep. And basically had a really clear vision in mind of what they wanted to do. And yeah, I mean, this game, even this game over the last few months has taken a pretty not drastic but pretty radical turn for like the art direction and just introducing new characters and just showing off a bunch of really fun stuff here for Paralyze.
Yeah, and especially like when you look at like I remember the first video I put out was when they were showing the Halloween house and the computer and the kitchen. And if you look at that video from like 6-7 months ago and move it forward to the Sebastian's kitchen, oh my gosh, the detailing and what we're going to be able to do in that game. It is just, I'm hoping it's as insane as it's kind of being presented to us. It seems like, Drew, if I could explain this game in a nutshell, it is everything the Sims community wants EA to do, but they won't do.
Right.
It's like these Paralyze guys said, hold our beer. We hear you. Let's get after this.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and that's kind of similar to backtracking a bit, but Prehistoric Kingdom, they did the same thing. It looked like when they looked at Frontier games or whatever city build or builder games, were just like, oh, everyone wants X, Y, and Z. Well, let's just do it then.
Okay, you guys want birds and swimming creatures and
resizing objects? Okay, sounds good.
We think we can make that happen. I mean,
and that's kind of the common thing here between Paralyze and is the resizing of the objects. Like that's kind of like both communities were like, yeah, thank you. That's kind of what we've been asking for a little bit now.
Yeah, can you just let us resize stuff? I mean,
like, yeah,
we're not hard to please.
No, we're really not.
You just listen.
Right. Yep. Exactly. So yeah, again, we know Paralyze is definitely not an under the radar game or anything. If you are a Sims player, when you hear Paralyze, you might get pretty excited there, basically. And I think you definitely should be. Like Esteban was saying, the way the game even looks now today. And again, I fully know that the game's not coming out for another year or so or more. But even how it looks today. Give me that builder. I will totally just take the builder as it is right now because it looks absolutely stunning.
Yep.
So, but cool. Yeah, let's go ahead. I think we can move on.
See what you have up next here.
Yeah. So up next, let me get my notes here. So we talked about that. Okay, so one that I have on my list here that you might not have heard of or anything like that is a game called New City. Now, this is again, a small developer, one person. I think it's a team of 3 people, like with one developer, a social media person, and someone that does sound design. I think that's the extent of it. And let me pull up.
Look this up myself.
Yeah, definitely.
I have not heard of that.
So New City is in the vein of like SimCity 2000, not 3000, but 2000. And yeah, it's just kind of an isometric top-down city builder. But
I like the little traffic animations they have going on. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's
the regional city builder.
Yeah, so that is the thing with this game, is that it is regional city builder. So I've done a video or two on it here, and I'm trying to get some images so y'all can kind of catch up with us here. But yeah, if you look at it, the big thing with it is that you're not just building one little like city area. If you zoom out, you can build towns and townships and cities and all this different kind of stuff in the same map kind of thing. So yeah, and it focuses heavily on management, very much so focused on management. Like if you get a new shopping center in town, it like alerts you like, hey, there's a new Walmart coming to town. It's going to make traffic go way up, and a lot of new jobs and stuff like that. A lot more people are going to come into.
I'm getting like really strong transport tycoon type vibe from this game.
Yes, exactly. So here, let me try it. I'll get a little bit of images up there so y'all can kind of get the vibe for it. It's also very mod friendly. They take a lot of what the community is kind of making, and they kind of import it into the game a little bit. Like they just imported a vaporwave aesthetic mod into the game because it was uploaded by the community, and they kind of put it into the game and stuff like that. So yeah, no, there's just it's constantly being updated. They just added in some boats and stuff like that. They're but yeah, I can't say enough about this game. There's a good shot of it right here.
Yeah.
And yeah, you can really get crazy with the populations and the details and all that fun stuff there. So if you're into like city skylines, definitely check this out. There is a custom building maker as well for it, so you can design and make your own buildings in their own little custom tool and everything like that. So yeah, it's still in early development, but definitely one to keep your eye out on. I've owned it for about 6 months, and they come out with an update like every week basically. Still, so very active and very, very fun. You can waste a night playing this game for sure.
Ooh.
So there you go. Let's see. Let's jump back here. What game do you have on your list there?
Well, Drew, if you want, go ahead and pull up the Age of Empires 4 trailer
sure.
and let them kind of watch that while we chat about it a minute. But that is, I mean, right there with me and Prehistoric Kingdom. I like, and especially like if we're talking about like if I'm getting personal, like not just put stuff on the channel type of game, but like not even record it for people.
You're just gonna play it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna play it.
Right. No, and I'm with you, man. I've played, I think, every single title of Age of Empires basically growing up.
I just think all the hours of like sitting there with my uncle or my cousin, and you know, like one of us, obviously, you know, only one of us we had one computer, so we would all, one person would sit and play, but the other people would sit around and like tell you what to do, or like, hey, build this, or you know, it was like I said, it was just growing up. That's what we did. We huddled around the computer with these tycoon and these simulation type games, and Age of Empires was right there at the forefront. And I'm just tickled with this trailer and what it seems like they're going to try to do, like with sticking to the core of what makes Age of Empires so timeless and just one of those awesome you know, play for years and years and years type strategy games.
Well, and that's what, you hit it on the head there. That's why I'm so excited for it, is because it doesn't look like they came out and like, okay, now we need to make it all flashy and do all new stuff.
Yeah, we're going to totally flip it on its head.
It's like, no, you don't break it, you know, just enhance it for
we don't necessarily want a new experience. We just want better graphics and, you know, better, you know, an engine that can you know, handle larger battles. And
and that's, it looks like
Drew, like look at the castle walls. And did you see the dynamic like explode, like when the trebuchets shot the castle walls, how they actually crumble on you now instead of like just disappearing into a big puff of dust.
Right. So there's just a ton more, like, and that's the thing. They're just enhancing and making different strategies. And if you haven't played Age of Empires in the past, I recommend going to play it. Age of Empires 3 was my favorite one of the series for sure. Actually, no, that's a lie. Age of Empires 2, the medieval one. Yeah, the castles and whatever expansion. Anyways, go back and play those games because they're either free or like $5, and there's like countless like HD versions and enhanced versions for today and stuff like that to make them really, really great and everything. So before this game comes out next year, what is this, like summer 2021 or?
Well, it's kind of like we're hoping to have early access by, you know, Q2 of 2021, but we're not. A lot of chatter is October-ish of next year, so we still think we're a year away. One guy told me today, he said, how much you want to bet they drop it on Age of Empires anniversary, which is October 15th, 2021.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm hoping, like, it would be cool if we got a new like gameplay trailer or something, you know, coming up here in the next week. That'd be cool for him to drop a new video on us.
And I'm sure we will get something 15th. Like probably closer to Christmas.
Yeah, I'm kind of ready for some new, like, show us some gameplay or something, or get us another cinematic trailer, or
Right, because all
something.
that was from all that footage was pre-alpha footage, if you can believe it, because that looks
Right.
so good.
Yep.
So awesome. Yeah, no, definitely excited for Age of Empires 4. If you're not, well, you should be. So
Yeah.
but
What's your problem?
what's your problem, man? What's your problem? So but let's go ahead and talk about the next game. And just to reiterate, because I think there might be more people in here, we are, for people that are here during the live chat portion, we're not fully ignoring you. We're just doing our podcast like first, and then after we're done doing the podcast, we will switch over to fun community hangout time. So yeah, if you're listening to this later on and you didn't know, we're starting to do these podcasts live. We advertise on our Twitters and everything like that. So be sure to follow us both on Twitter so you know when we're both live doing these podcasts. Because then, yeah, after the podcast is done, we hang out and we build in Planet Zoo or play some like fun community multiplayer games or something like that and hang out. So we'd love to hang out with you as well. So
Yes.
that out of the way, let's move on to the next game. So my next game that I have that I'm pretty pumped about, that you might not have heard of, is a game called Ancient Cities. So Ancient Cities is it's kind of a game like Prehistoric Kingdom, where it's been around, I feel like, for ages. Like, I'm talking like 3 or 4 or 5 years now it's been around, kind of thing. And they just kind of a slow burn. They really wanted to make it really good and everything, but yeah, no, this is just like straight from the website says Ancient Cities is a survival and strategy city builder based on ancient times. It's currently being developed by Uncasual Games. So I'm gonna play a little bit in the background, but yeah, they have a big emphasis on I follow them on Twitter, and they're always tweeting about how they want to get things historically super accurate. They have a full-on like weather system that affects how you play the game and everything like that. There's seasons. Yeah, and you start off as just basically, you know, a caveman kind of thing, or caveman primal people, and you have to live off the land and start a civilization basically. So
Yeah, and I the one thing that I'm like you, kind of loosely following this. I like the continued communication. They don't, they definitely see, you know, some people, they say with like these Kickstarter type games, you know, you're always worried about like when they go, you know, go 2 or 3 months and you don't have any
right.
you don't have any kind of chatter or anything, and you're like, okay, well, I just gave these guys like $40 and
Yeah, did they just fuck off?
since March. Yeah. So this is one of those games where it's like Drew said, and actually, I am pulling up. I was going to pull up their Twitter real quick and just see what the last thing they were.
Yeah, because they definitely tweet out what they're doing. It might take them a little bit sometimes, but they're always like, "Yeah, we're around. We just have been working on this, that, or the other thing."
Yeah, I'll go straight from your. Oops, I unfollowed you, Drew.
What the heck?
Sorry, that was just for 2 seconds.
S. Dan Wolf has followed me on Twitter. Yay!
Sorry. Yes, Ancient Cities. This is one of those games too that Drew has talked about. It's a longevity type game. I don't think that's what's taken them so long to develop it. You are literally like crawling out of the cave. We are crawling up out of the swamps to start this game, and you create, you know, you find gods to worship. You know, it is taking you through the ancient cities and right on through. And I think it's one of those games that their ambition is keeping them. They have to keep pushing it. There are too many good ideas that are coming.
Right, and they don't want to.
Yeah.
They don't want to shortchange either, it seems like. I mean, looking right here at the main features of the game on their website, build your city through the ages with evolving gameplay, simulated years, seasons, day cycles, and weather, simulated ecosystem where every plant and animal you see is growing, reproducing, and dying, natural disasters. So yeah, I think that's the biggest, and then again, organic city layouts let you plan and build your city in a realistic way. So they're taking kind of, that's what a lot of our games kind of seem to have in common that we're excited about. They're taking a lot of different ideas that have been sprinkled about in different games and just whoop, putting it all into like one package basically, and it's ambitious. It's not something that's just going to be like, okay, let's flip the switch and turn it on, here we go.
I know they even like they at one point too. They were talking about like simulated migrations, like
right,
the map changes as far as like new tribes may move in closer to your city,
right.
and you kind of have to navigate. Okay, are we going to be friends and trade with them, or are they trying to kill us, or should we try to kill them? Or that is really really neat, like an almost like dynamic map type of situation.
Yeah, exactly. And I can appreciate that, because I mean, not to really throw any game under the bus, but the game I can compare this to and think of off the top of my head is Dawn of Man, that came out like a year or two ago. And I kind of wish that game was more what this game looks like it's gonna be, because Dawn of Man just felt very, yep, we're building the base and the bad guys and build an army or whatever, and okay, it's the same thing. But this game is making you think, like, okay, where's the herd of buffalo going to be going, and can I get my people over there in time before winter comes, and are we getting enough? You're not just doing the normal RTS thing, right? It looks like they're actually thinking about it, making you think, that is a little bit harder, which I'm always for. Change the script on games that we've seen done the same way for the last 30 years, right? So please, it's 2021 or 2020. Can we please make gameplay different than it was in the late 90s, please? So yeah, I think Ancient Cities, along with like Manor Lords and Prehistoric Kingdom and other games, are really kind of flipping the script there, and I am all about it, my friends. So what is next up on your list there?
Well, this my next one is a little bit out of your groove, Drew, and I can't even really explain it very, very much because I didn't play the first one. But I am really interested in the development of Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Okay.
And it might be a little bit of a stretch to say that it's a 2021 release, just because the game has been in development for like 8 years, but I don't know. I'm not sure if it's like in a good, like a rock star type of way where this is going to be like everybody waiting on Red Dead Redemption 2.
Right, yeah.
I don't know. I know with the situation going on around the world, but it seems like, and I'm part of what they call the Space Monkeys program, where they let you in on different development points and stuff. Man, it has went dark. It's like Ubisoft in France. One of their development studios is kind of really behind it. I think maybe with the help of Santa Monica, I want to say, but for the most part, it's being developed in France. And like I said, though, man, the trailer for it, it was like a totally cinematic trailer. It wasn't like gameplay or anything. They have gameplay video out, but that first trailer just hooked me. It's like a weird game where like animals are almost human form. You'll have to Google it and look up some pictures.
Yeah, so what was the name of it again?
Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah, and it's totally open world, missions, but it's like it's open almost galaxy. It's you can, and there's no load screen, so you can start out like in the smallest of villages, and if you turn your ship and kind of point them towards the stars, you fly up there. There is no loading. Like you leave the atmosphere and you go back up to your big ship. But yeah, see, it's kind of like a really interesting human hybrid animal. There are humans, but the humans kind of take a back seat to a lot of the animal characters. And you're like space pirates. You have little ships that you use to take down to like the cities and the planets, and then you have your massive like flagships that hold your smaller ships. So think of it as like a big pirate ship, and you get in your canoe to go over to shore, but it's all with spaceships. And like I said, you play like pirate, doing different missions to steal stuff, and and go on raids, and it's just seems really really like an interesting concept.
Yeah, it looks very ambitious.
Yeah, totally out of our vein of strategy, simulation, city building, but it's kind of like one of my hopes that it's ready for 2021. So
right,
I won't keep you all here long with this one, but yeah, this is definitely, it's been on my radar so long. I'm willfully just wishing
Wishing, hoping that
Yeah,
it won't get kicked. I just found a trailer for it. I'm gonna cycle through it real quick. Okay, so it's no gameplay even yet, kind of thing. So it's way in
yeah, yeah. The dude, like one of the developers, shows us a little bit of gameplay in one of his videos. Um, but this is kind of like their
yeah, their cinematic one, right?
yeah.
Cool. So yeah, that's something a little bit different. Like as Stan said, it might not be fully in our wheelhouse for as far as like construction or building and strategy games go. But heck, man, not all we play. So,
Hmm.
but cool. So let's go ahead and look at the next one. Which let's do one that we're both excited for. And I'm going to pull up their website, which is going to be Hotel Magnate. Now,
That is another Critivo Prehistoric Kingdom developer game.
yes, exactly. So if y'all haven't heard of this one, I know a lot of people have actually talked about this one. Myself, Estan, Jonty has talked about it and done a video on it and stuff like that. So yeah, if you haven't heard of this, let me get the right here. This just looks like a really cool. I mean, there was a few like hotel tycoon builders like back in the day and stuff like that. Not too many, but yeah, this just looks like a cool take on like the hotel builder there. And I'm all about these kind of little builders, so
Yeah, you love like this Parkitect style, almost. You know, kind. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. But
it's kind of
these are,
cartoony.
yeah, a little cartoony.
So yeah, no, there was a
With
lot
the
of these games
chefs and all that back in the kitchen.
there was a lot of these kind of games that came out in like the early 2000s where it was like a simulator or a builder for like everything kind of thing, like a cruise ship builder and yeah, hotel and motel builder and SeaWorld builder and stuff.
And airport builder.
Yeah, no, exactly, right? And so I just kind of get the vibes that like we're in that kind of era again, only it's 2020 or 2021 or whatever. So, but yeah, if you look at the builder here on screen, everything, I get really excited by the curved walls because curved walls are sexy and great. The interior designing and everything like that looks really, really good. Looks like we have a lot of options to do. And yeah,
your guest rooms.
Yeah, right, with the beds and everything like that.
Pools.
It's just it looks like the amount of detail that you're going to be able to do for each little thing is going to be pretty fun there. So and yeah, again, it's from the publishers of Prehistoric Kingdom as well, so we know that they like to do the fun little quality quirky little games there. So as far as release goes, I don't know. I think it's sometime in 2021. They're kind of another one where I'm in their Discord and other things like that, keeping track of it. But yeah, I'm pretty sure sometime in 2021 it will be coming out. And yeah, they're tweeting all the time as well. 6 hours ago, October 6th, September 5th. So at least a few times a month they're kind of checking in and everything. So if you're not already, be sure to be following Hotel Magnate on Twitter, and you can go on their actual page and I think on Steam and all that kind of fun stuff and keep track of it there. So yeah,
fun check out some more of those, some more of these like these Discords, because it's pretty much like my Discord is like you and Jonty and our D&D group.
Yeah, sure.
I really need to expand and get there.
Oh, they're great.
That's a big thing that's happening now. Like even with Prehistoric Kingdom, and these game companies are really starting to embrace Discord more. It's a really cool platform.
Well, yeah, and that's I'm in Prehistoric Kingdoms, Paralives, and Hotel Magnates, and a few other games Discords, and it's really cool because oftentimes the developers or sound designers or whomever will just be there hanging out, chatting, just be like, yeah, I'm just hanging out, having dinner tonight, gonna maybe work on the game a bit. And you can like talk to them, be like, oh yeah, what are you gonna be doing? And they'll kind of be like,
that's cool.
Yeah, no, it's kind of broken down the between Twitter and Discord and everything, kind of broken down that fourth wall or whatever between you and the developer and stuff like that. So yeah, really cool game to kind of keep track of there. So did you have I only have one more game that I think you might not have heard of, but other than that, did you have any others?
Not have any others that you wouldn't have heard of. I definitely, you and I will probably, my last one on my list here is Settlers.
Yeah, I was gonna keep that one. Yeah, that's a good time to bring it up.
So,
yeah, so if you don't know about this one, this is another one that's kind of iffy that we're hoping is going to come out in 2021.
Yeah, had a little bit of a setback, it seems, at the beginning of September. Like I said, we don't know if it's pandemic related. We're pretty much assuming it is. But they sent out a note to everybody and said that they're going to push everything back. They're not really giving us a definitive a definitive date. Did they ever give us a trailer for Settlers,
I
Drew?
don't believe so.
Or
I'm on the site right now, kind of scrolling through, and no, we just have a lot of concept art.
yeah, a lot of art, but not really any like gameplay trailers or anything like that necessarily yet.
No,
Are have they?
nope. And if you haven't heard of the Settlers before, the Settlers has been around for ever. I feel like.
Well, that wait a minute. If you go back up a little bit, I think there may have been something that said "watch trailer." Will it let you click on
Oh,
that?
hey, you're right.
Did
Nope,
they?
video unavailable. That they took it
They
down. I
took
think
it
once
down.
they
Damn.
announced they were going to go on a hiatus, and that's the whole thing. Is that for this game? If you haven't heard of the Settlers before, it's a really fun RTS that's been around again since like I can remember. And yeah, no, they're just really fun games. But they did announce that they're going on a bit of a hiatus during last year. So hopefully we get some new announcements coming up that they're going to be kind of yeah, checking back in with us.
I'm
So
just absolutely in love with the art style of it, like just the crystal clear, like almost reef-like waters around the beaches, and just
yes,
all the different little like the shops and blacksmiths and mills and weapons forge and gladiator schools. It's just, I mean, it just looks like I am going to give hours of my life to that game.
it's such a yeah. I mean, here's get some closer up images, but such a charming style. And this is one of those games that like I look at, and even if you're not like into this kind of game, I would look at this and be like, well, I could build that in Planet, Zoo or Planet Coaster or whatever. It's just that vibe, that kind of style it gives off. It's just you want to emulate it and kind of just want to be there in the like the town
And
and all that.
and you know what I would say this, and I think I've mentioned this to you before too, Drew. If this is like a gorgeous version of Foundation,
Right.
right? It's like they just took like everything that was cool about Foundation, but made it insanely artistically pleasing, you know?
Absolutely. Yep, exactly. So, yeah, this is another one that since it is on a bit of a hiatus, and this is like again the sixth or seventh game for this
Right. Been
series.
around for a while. I think I
Yeah.
said this has been around. This started in like 1996, I want to say.
So yeah,
The
it's either then
very
or
first
even a little
one,
earlier. But yeah, like
or 1993 maybe.
yes, no, it was 93 was the very first one. So y'all can definitely go back and play any of the recent titles if you kind of want to get a feel and a vibe for this, because they're all like, there's definitely differences between the games, but they kind of have that same feel throughout them and same ideas and everything like that. So
Yeah, we're just so bummed about the pushback. You know,
yeah,
they were rolling so good, and their Twitter was super active and giving out little pieces of concept art like every other day. And then that message came like on September 20th, I think. And their Twitter handle has, I don't think it's literally tweeted out anything since.
right, right. So
So
yeah, that oh, and I have one more. I have one more game that I wanted to talk about. I'm just
yeah,
trying
what
to
you
get.
got?
I'm trying to find a little information on it because I may have been. Anyways, it's called and it came out as a demo last year, or it may have been this year. It's called Builders of Egypt. And this
I
game.
have seen little bits and pieces of that.
Oh, dude! Now there's a free demo on Steam that you can get now. Let me go ahead and think over real quick. Boop, there we go. I'll show some images off first of it, but if you go to Steam, you can get a live demo of this now. And now this game is literally, it's Pharaoh from Sierra Studios back in the late '90s. If you
Spent
played those
many
games,
hours on that.
yes, same. That Caesar and Cleopatra and all those kind of games. They have basically remade that for the modern times. I mean, down to like how everything looks and feels and the gameplay mechanics and everything. It is Pharaoh for modern times. So, but yeah, if you go to like their Steam page, you can download the demo right now. So, let's see here. No user reviews. Release date Q1 of 2021. Yeah, so there will be an entire game of this coming out, but you can just kind of at the moment go and get the demo to kind of play through. I think it's like an hour that you can play through with the demo with it. But yeah, again, if you played those old Sierra games from back in the day, it'll feel right at home with you. And speaking of, I did just see. I didn't know they were doing this, but they are working on a Builders of Greece as well, which is going to be Q4 of 2021. Yeah, so they're going to be doing the Greece kind of thing, and then the Egypt one that they're already working on. So yeah, no, I'm really excited. And again, I definitely recommend going and checking out the demo, because you get to do a pretty good amount in it for just a demo and stuff. So, but I think that's it. I think that's all the games.
I think we covered our highlights. Well, there was something else I was gonna say. Can't think of it. I think what was it? It was Jonty was talking about one that he's been going over and over on. Evil Genius 2.
Oh yeah, yep.
Did you ever delved into that any, Drew?
I played the first one a little bit after he had mentioned it, and it looks like a game that I will have fun watching Jonty play.
Right. It's like it's a jaunty game.
It is. There's nothing bad about that.
That is like Evil Genius 2 is made for him. Like that is right up his wheelhouse. Kind of like a mixture of Good Company and what's the a theme or a hospital. 2
Oh
point
yeah,
hospital,
2 point. Right, absolutely. Yeah, it has nice little quirkiness, nice little dry humor that go along with it and everything, and has some good strategy and stuff. Again, I played the first one for a little bit because it was either free or like $1 on GOG Games or something like that, and I was like, yeah, sure, let's check it out. And it's not bad or anything. It's just definitely not my style of game. But like we're saying, when Jonty gets it, and that's a when he gets it, he's gonna be a ton of fun to watch play that game.
Right. Yeah, he's gonna cover that awesome. Like I said, that is right. Like that's exactly what he wants to cover, are those quirky type of management
100%.
And I was thinking too, wouldn't it be awesome? Like speaking of those type of, up in the air, like management type sims, you know what I'm wanting, Drew? I'm obviously, I don't think it could happen in 2021 because we probably have heard about it by now, but I would like an updated like prison game.
Sure.
Wouldn't you like like a prison tycoon, but somebody makes one like now, I would even go for a planet prison. Like if Frontier decided to build a prison game, but like with our little Planko people in it, I think would be hilarious.
I know what you mean, like with actual, because I'm on a two-sided thoughts here, because like we have Prison Architect, and they just got bought by a bigger company. However, they're going to be doing big updates with that game in the future and stuff like that as a result. But I want one that isn't the isometric like top-down view kind of game. Like I don't mind the Parkitect or anything like that style, but I'd like one like you're saying, like if we could make it full on, like I'm building a prison with like the Cobra engine or something like that.
Like Planet Prison, where you could add things inside their cells and piece by piece.
Sure, right.
Take out walls and remove walls and add basketball courts and get down on there, like walk around in Tegid Cam,
Because I
find prison cam. I find myself like the concept of Parkitect's fun, and I think it's a adorably charming game, but I always find myself not being able to scroll down as low as I want to.
Yeah.
So I lose interest in them. Quicker.
I know what you mean. I have to be in the right mindset as well to play that game and everything. And I kind of put that in the vein of like City Skylines almost, where it's like I'll go on the workshop and be like, oh, this mod is awesome. And oh yeah, I need this brand new roller coaster, and it's a mod, so it's free. And then I get into the game and I'm like, I don't want to do anything in this game though.
That's like, I don't what I'm like, man, I always have the best intentions with City Skylines, and I'll find an awesome apartment building, or, I'll download 1,000 different sets, and I get in the game and I'm like, yeah, this looks like dog poo.
Yeah, like I have no intention of doing anything.
Or like I'll watch the big City Skyline YouTubers, like Flux Trance and Strict Coaster and, all of those guys. And they get you really amped up and you get into the game. And, I bet you, Drew, that's a lot of times like when people say to us, like, oh my gosh, I don't know how you guys do this. Like, how did you make this look so cool in Planet Zoo? And we're like, it just kind of
do it.
happens. That's what I feel like I want to ask those guys. I'm like, how did you build this massive city that looks epic, like the most greatest thing I've ever seen?
But it's like, just do it. You just do it.
Too, it's like they've probably been in it since release. They've been around since day one. And whereas me, I never really caught on to City Skylines when it first came out. It was kind of something I just, dove into a little bit when I was still playing Sim City. Remember 2013's, Max's Sim City?
Right.
But yeah, I'm turned on by City Skylines. Then I'm immediately uninterested in it once I get in game. Kind of sucks.
Oh, but so tell you what, we're going to go ahead and I think that's good capper on the actual podcast part of it. So we're going to go ahead and cut the podcast part right there. And now we can turn to our awesome community there. So yeah, for those of you that were wondering, again, I mentioned it a few times, but we weren't ignoring you outright. We were just during the podcast part of it. We like to not look at chat just so it doesn't like derail our thought process, I guess, during it.
Yes, we've got Simply Savannah is in the house, Primal Gamer, Micah, Bold, Bluefin Manta, and Zekin is here right now, but not for long.
Oh, nice. What's up, everybody? How are you? Thanks so much for hanging out for the podcast part there. If you were there for the whole time, looks like Simply Savannah was hanging out for a lot of it. What was the game that you were excited for? Did any games tickle anyone's fancy there? I'm sure Paralyzed and Prehistoric Kingdom definitely are, but are there any other games?
I'm sure they're gonna say some that we're gonna be like, oh my god, how did we not think of that?
Oh, I know, right? And in the meantime, I'm gonna kind of build this. Since it's going up on my channel tonight, I'm building a Thornton Hills Zoo. But before we kind of do, I thought I'd show off a little bit. Y'all get a little sneak preview of Thornton Hills Boo, my transformation of Thornton Hills Zoo into a Halloween type thing there. So
yeah.
And I'm glad Simply Savannah is here because I actually got a lot of inspiration from Simply Savannah's build that she uploaded like a week ago. She did a little like fall Halloween like upload, like little build there on her channel.
You guys really need to go check her channel out too. If you have been sleeping on Savannah, what is wrong with you? Definitely go check out, especially her newest one where she has decorated like that barn with the custom cobwebs. I was like, holy.
Yes, Savannah, put those cobwebs on the workshop. I need the spider web, Savannah, so you have to put them on the workshop, please.
Savannah is one of those players where you see her builds and you immediately want to go back into Planet Zoo, but then what you're building is crap and you end up exiting out and just going to watch YouTube videos or something.
Is that a Planet Coaster? Oh no, it's Planet. Basically, right? So, here's just a quick little look at some Thornton Hills Boo. I think the most fun part is honestly changing out. I know we only have like 5 different like fall or autumn trees, but just switching out the trees is like such a big thing there. Getting that fall look.
That's another thing too, Drew, like about our whole Prehistoric Kingdom thing. I want to think like I have heard that there's more so like dynamic weather, like it's really, really controllable as far as the cold temperature. You know how like I believe with Planet Zoo, you can't necessarily, you have to be in a cold region if you want it to be cold or hot. I believe they had spoke about, being able to weather changes happening. So I think that would be really neat.
Yeah, no, the dynamic. That's Ancient Cities, Manor Lords, I think. And then, Prehistoric Kingdom, they're all going to have dynamic weather. So the weather will actually change and affect how everything kind of goes and everything. So
right. And, with Planet Zoo, we have the you can make it to do random rainstorms and snowstorms and stuff. But I'm thinking this is going to be on a little bit different level. It's going to be a little more, like you said, dynamic and kind of slowly changing to the colder months.
Well, like Ancient Cities mentioned, they're not only going to simulate days, they're simulating seasons. So, like, you'll need to
Yeah.
prepare. Like Banished, remember Banished back in the day?
Yeah, like winter is coming. You need to get all your supplies together.
Right. I love that you sank trees to make fallen leaves. Yeah, the Japanese maple tree is really good to use for fallen leaves. It gives a great...
That's an awesome touch.
I think it was Remnant, to be honest. I saw that from at first, but yeah, no, that's a great little thing to make it look like leaves are blowing around and stuff. So
nice.
I think we're pretty good. I'm trying to think of what to build. I'm not going to do anything in this. I'm going to load into the normal Thornton Hills Zoo just because actually have a habitat I want to build in that so we can actually do something. Which I never actually build anything or do anything in a live stream. Maybe it'll be easier now that SDN is.
I see what you mean. Yesterday or like last night when I started doing it, it's like you want to chat with everybody so much. It's kind of hard to get enveloped into building like you would if you were just sitting there by yourself.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I definitely can't live stream if I want to actually get stuff done.
No, no way. Yeah, which it's like we're not complaining at all because most of the more fun thing to do in a live stream is to hang out with y'all and chit chat and stuff like that. So just having the game on in the background is an excuse.
And live streaming for me, I think could kind of help branch out from what we always talk about, the like the Planet Zoo bubble. Maybe I could throw up maybe Saturday throw up Star Wars Squadrons, or just something 2-point hospital. The live stream opens up the door to so many possibilities that you wouldn't necessarily get a video together and just throw on the channel. It's like, it's just a live stream. Just come hang out and watch me play something else.
Right. Right, exactly. No, live streaming is a lot of fun. Like I used to live stream just about every single day a few years ago on Twitch and stuff, and that is a little bit like too much for me personally. There's some people who can do that, but doing live streams every once in a while is really, really fun to do. Interact with the community and everything.
I definitely think really like not BSing you. I want to at least try to do 2 to 3 live streams a week. Just me getting out and hanging out with the people, and just kind of dipping my toes into this aspect of this form of entertainment. Live streaming. I've always
we need to get you a second monitor then.
Yeah, Bold said stream D&D and let us roll for the monsters.
Oh God, well I'd rather you roll for the monsters than John or Mass Bandit.
John's rolling like nat 20s like with skeleton.
I know, what an asshole.
Armies, and I'm down almost dead. I'm like, this is our second session and I'm dead. Somebody's gonna have to revive me.
Simply Savannah said before, I'd love to see custom map texture things like they did with Planet Coaster. Where you could pick the scenery, but then also the ground textures.
Right.
Yeah,
they didn't carry that over, man.
Yeah, put that on the list of things that were not carried over from Planet Coaster.
And the good things that they learned in Planet Coaster that did not make the transition.
Man, that's why I'm like kind of a salty bitch a lot of the times, to be honest with you, when it comes to like Planet Zoo and stuff like that. I got kind of a chip on my shoulder because it's like, why? Why did y'all not do that?
I'm salty that they didn't, like the things like the foliage didn't transition over, or even like some of the scenery pieces.
Yeah, where's billboards? Where's point of interest?
Where's billboards? Point of interest.
There's just little few simple, or like, why can't I upload custom images and put it on a TV screen or whatever? It's just.
And the game's it's coming up on its 1 year
anniversary. I know! What the fuck?
Like, where are the billboards? Like, we just want to be able to bring in our own custom zoo pictures and stuff, and maps and brochures, and why are you not letting us do this?
It's just the frontier way of being restrictive for the sake of being restrictive kind of thing, it feels like. But all right,
it's like what our one guy always says: "Frontier gonna frontier."
Yeah, again, I know like I sound like a salty bitch, but after 6 years of whatever, it's kind of Whatever.
If you and I could just fly over there, Drew, and spend like a weekend with them and them just hear us out, I think it would make us feel better. But it's
like,
just
why?
like,
Why are you doing this? Why are you the way that you are? Just
yes,
quote
let
Michael.
us yes, a lot of things you do are awesome. Not
Right.
every single thing, but let us explain to you what we need and what our communities tell us. You know, just hear us out.
Bold says, I didn't even play Planet Coaster and I'm a salty bitch about it. See?
Yeah, Bold even understands
See?
our struggle.
So, all right, let me pause real quick. I need some help here. I put what I had there before, which I didn't really enjoy. What are we going to put here? I have this open little spot right here, and I have this implied exhibit that I really like over here with some turtles and fish right on the outside of the reptile house here. And then I have this nice little opening right here. And I originally had like a little plaza seating area with like a weird, I don't know, overhang, but it feels like something should go here.
Yeah, like maybe some kind of, I don't know.
Give me your meerkat exhibit.
That's what I was going to say. I
Give me
swear to
that.
God, I was going to say, like, it seems like some kind of small little climbing mammal should be there with some climbing structures right there.
Porcupines, fake ones, because Planet Zoo. Yeah, you know, porcupines. That's actually a cool idea.
Yeah, because Planet Zoo.
Because, I mean, we understand.
Planet Zoo gonna Planet Zoo.
Right. Simply Savannah says meerkats, you know, as well. Man, yeah, let's do like what you built, because you used that, and then you put it down to like 1 meter basically, like that. Yeah, let's just S-Dan this shit up real quick. Let's build an S-Dan implied exhibit. Can you curve these? No. Do the null first.
Yeah.
That's why we can't do these things.
Man, I think as far as animals go, in Bold's Savannah, meerkats and penguins, I hear the most.
Penguins.
Wouldn't you say?
Yep, everybody needs their penguins. And I understand. Penguins are kind of one of those animals where it's kind of like, really, you're not gonna do penguins?
Penguins would buy Planet Zoo like another year. Like,
Yeah.
if they would give us penguins, so many people in the community would, they would just gush, you know?
And I'm hoping, Stan, that it's not one of those things where they're like, well, we can't do penguins because we're not going to do marine life because marine life is unethical to, whatever kind of stuff. And it's like, come on.
Kind of weird. There's Poison Blade. Kind of weird.
Hey, what's up, Poison Blade? Good to see you, buddy.
Weird Planet Zoo, frontierish type logic.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't want to be a pessimist with everything kind of thing, but like, again, like we saw how they handled polar bears and then flipped the switch on that right quick, and I don't know, and it's just the inconsistencies are a bit
it's
frustrating.
Bluefin Manta said it's baffling they didn't port over more of the features, shops, and scenery items
From Planet Coaster. No kidding. Yeah, well, from what we heard, and we got some nice little insider information, knock on wood, but so Planet Zoo was built off of a 3-month-old Planet Coaster engine, right? Is that how it went, kind of thing?
Kind of like that. Planet Zoo was almost, we heard, built as a backup. Did they frame it, Drew, as it was a backup in case one of their other games failed?
It was basically a strip down of the Planet Coaster engine and everything like that. Like, I think they always had an intention of doing
with a new lighting pack.
With a new like overlay package over it, basically. And yeah, they took the engine that Planet Coaster was running off of, or the updates that Planet Coaster was running off of 3 months into its lifespan. And then they like shut the two teams off from each other. Like, they made it so that Planet Coaster and Planet Zoo's teams did not talk to each other at all. And they which I guess, I don't really understand development that much at all, but I guess they didn't want to have Planet Zoo's team to constantly be updating all the new gizmos and gadgets that Planet Coaster was getting. So they were just like, no, don't, we're just gonna not. But also it's like, dude, it's the same engine and stuff. Why can't y'all just be like, hey, we're adding in points of interest, here's the code for it, go ahead and insert it in. I don't know.
Yeah, and Drew, now what were you saying last night? One of our guys said, talked about, I don't know if somebody was data mining or whatever they found,
Oh,
but
yeah.
it was something to do with large exhibits, you said?
Yeah, they said, I think it was Rob or someone, and maybe they're here tonight again. But yeah, they found that there's large exhibits, quote unquote, in the files for the upcoming Planet Zoo like updates, basically. So what that means, we can go ahead and shoot the shit all we want, kind of thing. But for me, I think that kind of hints towards like birds, like aviaries kind of thing.
I mean, I'd prefer you not speculate too much, but I would think
I'm going to comment on your video if you do, and let you know
fish. I think fish when I think of larger. Well, like what else would they need large exhibits for? I just think that I think it points to fish. You know, being able to move it. Fish or birds. I mean, what else? What else needs more space than like, you know, when they have iguanas and spiders and stuff in the.
Gosh,
you know,
I forgot that you can't rotate. We should be able to rotate our exhibits after we.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna put this on like an x-axis and like rotate it a little bit.
Yeah, that's a no-no.
Okay, well, you know.
Poison Blade said, "I just miss my foxes, beavers, and otters."
Oh, yeah, foxes, beaver. Well, you beavers, Mr. Beaverman in Pine Creek. Yeah, you could have used beavers.
Yeah, and I could remember I had my little implied otter exhibit too.
Oh, like, it was otters, not beavers. Yeah, otters.
Oh, I have both. Remember, the otters are over on the lake.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I need otters in my Planet Zoo life. Why can't we have otters?
Well, why can't I have an otter? Why I oughta? And you know, we could probably make 2 exhibits out of this, like 2 small animals. Split it down the middle.
Yep.
There we go. I swear I've played this game before, everyone. I'll get it. At least once or twice.
Toves Plays said, yep, meerkats and other burrowing
animals.
Hey,
Toves! I was hanging out in Toves' stream earlier while I was doing dishes and stuff. He was playing some House Flipper, if I remember correctly.
I played that for a little bit.
It's a great little game.
Not on camera or anything, but... It was fun, yeah.
I actually just played today. I played a game that was similar to it. I just put it up on the channel called Train Station Renovation, and it's very similar to House Flipper, like the way that the game plays and everything. Mm-hmm. Fun little title there.
Simply Savannah said, "I think adding a vertical element to habitats would be really interesting as well for climbing species and birds.
Yeah, yeah."
And Bolt said, "I just want the climbing animals to actually climb."
Wow, do you know what you're asking for right now? Because
he's getting a little intense, isn't he?
Wow, yeah, you're getting a little rambunctious there, my friend. Little rambunctious.
Yeah, we're gonna need you to dial that back a little bit now.
Yeah, keep your expectations realistic, okay? Toves, how you doing, buddy? How was your Toves just reached 2,000 subscribers the other day.
Nice.
And had a nice little stream there. I wasn't able to make it, unfortunately. But yeah, how did your 2,000 subs stream go? And congrats on the 2K subs. That's a big one. Like, I know everyone makes a big deal out of 1K, which you should, but like, I feel like the next like 1,000 subs after that is like, okay, I have something going here. It's like, okay, I hit that 1,000, but you know, another 1,000 people sub to me. Like, dang, okay, something's working.
I know. Then you really you're almost like, man, I need to take this a little more serious. There are 2,000 people out there watching me.
Well, that's when you start to put it in perspective of, okay, I could 2,000 people. That's like my high school football stadium's capacity, so that I could fill that or something like that. Or like, you know, 5,000 is my next one. Like 5,000 that could fill like my minor league city's baseball stadium or some shit like that. You know, it's like you gotta start thinking of it like that.
One of Tove's videos that I spent. It was a couple days ago, I think. I don't remember when he uploaded it, but he's kind of working on like Missoula Zoo. And if you get a chance, Drew, go check out.
Oh, it's a great series.
I forget, he's working with somebody. Starts with an H.
Oh, Haribo?
Yes. And their tiered like entranceway, like, you know, they've got they've kind of got like their main sign, but it all just tiers up insane. You'll have to check that out.
There's been a lot of really good new Planet Zoo series coming out. It's not Toves, is it? I don't think. I think it was Zekin maybe that's doing the vineyard. I mentioned that on stream a few times now. Why are you obstructed? I love the pathing in this game. It's my favorite. Okay. But yeah, no, there's been a lot of really great new series coming out. And at Zoo there. He said it just...
And you got Ricey. She had tweeted out a bunch of pictures today again. So she had been kind of quiet for a while, but she is working on some new stuff.
It's the water level. I hate it. So wait, if I take away the water...
Toad said, yeah, that is Haribo, and he said, yep, that's us doing the vineyard.
It is you doing the vineyard. Yeah, it is. Okay. Yeah. Like I said, it's not just Toves and Haribo. Like you were mentioning, Ricey is coming back to the game, which is great. I feel like every single day that I get up and log on to the Bro Nation, there's just a slew of new projects kind of starting up. So not sure where all the inspiration came from, but
you know, and me not to be too salty, but I always think the Bro Nation guys get such a shit into the deal. Like when it comes to promotion, I mean, totally not dogging anybody that Frontier tweet or, you know, Planet Zoo tweets out, or they put on that thing like where they picked the tweet a week ago and the social
it's usually
thing.
Quality, great stuff.
Yeah, but it's just like, have you guys ever went over to the Bro Nation Discord?
I think that's why there's nothing, because they have been to the Bro Nation Discord, and yeah, sure, there's amazing stuff on there, but Bro Nation Discord is also one not to shy away from letting putting Frontier on blast kind of thing.
Yeah,
so
yeah, that's true.
If you're not shoving rainbows up their butts, then they kind of get salty.
Yeah, you can't be a Frontier warrior necessarily and hang out in Bro Nation too long.
That's just the thing, yeah. You get a wake up call real quick, be like, "Hey kid, listen, it's not all fucking rainbows and gumdrops, okay?"
Look at me, I still don't have freaking beavers.
Yeah. Or, I mean, gosh, we'll get it. You still get people who are like, so are they going to fix the x-axis anytime soon? Like, we're not trying to like upset the system. We just want the x-axis to not shit the house or shit the brick.
It's always funny to me, like when new players come in and they start talking about the pathing, and I'm like, you're adorable.
First time, yeah. You shared that meme that one time of the was it James Franco?
James Franco, the Ballad of Ricky the Ballad of Ricky Scruggs. He's like up in these. He's about to be hanged, and they're like, first time,
huh? Yeah. That's like, again, we sound like some old cranky sons of bitches, but it's like, you got to remember, guys.
We've been around this since like late 2014, early 2015. So
there's just so many.
This isn't our first Planet Rodeo.
There's only so many times that we can get our hopes built up for. Okay, this is going to be the time. It's going to happen, and then okay.
Hey, Drew, Leaf made it.
Hey, Leaf made it. Nice. Let me catch up with chat here. I'm leaving you to chat since I like having this co-host thing. I told you I was salty. I told you I was salty.
I mean, I've still gave them 950 something hours and will continue to give them my money, but I will pout.
Yeah, right.
We talk this shit, but you know, like if they messaged me right now and said, "Hey, Stan, we're about to come out with an anniversary DLC update. Do you want a code to play it out early?" I'd be like,
I mean,
well, hell yeah. I mean,
I'm not gonna turn that down, but you know, you could do better.
It's like I think all of us, we've earned the right to be salty and kind of, you know,
a little bit.
Pick our, we've been around them. We're not new to this. We're not like salty newcomers that have come in and like, this is all trash. Right. It's like, we've put up with this for 5 years, 6 years now.
Well, it's just like, I want it to just be better. I don't know. It's just like, I'm not trying to be a salty bitch just for the sake of hearing myself be a salty bitch. It's like, I feel like...
Man, like if I pull up Planet Zoo right now on Steam, do you know what my playtime is? 1,369 hours. Like, I don't take this lightly. I haven't just played this for 2 weeks and want my money back.
Right.
But I'm just saying there are things that kind of need to be addressed.
Yeah, that's all it is right. From a business market perspective, though, It's so weird seeing how consumers personalize big companies like Frontier as never do bad entities. Yeah, well, no, Leaf, and that's just it. Like, I can kind of understand from like our perspective as a content creators, because like we've, I don't know, we've kind of been given keys and this, that, and the other thing. So sometimes we're a little bit skewed. I try not to be, but it's just fact of the matter. But yeah, as consumers, the like love affair of like, if you don't talk bad about Frontier or else, it's like, dude, you understand that's like how things get better, like, and not like just like it's okay.
We can't kiss their butts on everything, I mean, and like we said yesterday, we said in the stream last night, don't get us wrong, we are Frontier, the people there, the people that Drew and I have interacted with, top-notch people.
Absolutely.
But it's just some of their gameplay choices and stuff, we're just like, guys.
It's like, yeah. So
I think if we didn't complain, it would mean we didn't care. We don't care enough to complain. It's but we care. We've invested a lot in this.
Exactly. Yep. Exactly. So why am I setting this up as if there's actually going to be an animal going in here? Like, why? I just realized I'm trying to get paths like really close to the exhibit and everything. I'm like, oh yeah, there's gonna be a porcupine going in here that is actually never going to be seen by. Okay, moving on. Just, it's fine. All right. Good idea, though, folks, on putting like a porcupine or something like that over here. Oh, and that leads me to the next thing I'm going to put into the zoo, which is, I noticed I had this kind of big expansion plot over here that hasn't been used. So let me clear it out a little bit. I think I want to put like a one-off kind of like jaguar habitat over here. Some like big kind of main attraction kind of thing. I'm not going to do it tonight, but I think there's enough room over here to kind of throw in like a little...
Good spot.
Yeah. Yep. So I think that's where I'm going
Yes.
to...
We do not like big open areas. We must fill everything.
Fill the areas. Although that is a little bit different thing from Planet Coaster to Planet Zoo is a lot of zoos, especially my recreation of the Brookfield Zoo, you notice that a lot of zoos don't do that. They actually have like big open areas, and those have like park promenades and stuff like that, just areas to kind of relax.
I think a lot of them do it to help like future-proof themselves, because zoos, they only have so much space. So I think a lot of them, they try to, they hold on to that land until it's like, okay, it's go time. We're getting these animals. Let's start this development.
Right.
Especially like with Zoo Knoxville butted up right against like I-40 right there. I-40 ain't going nowhere. There is nowhere to go for that zoo. So when they end up finally developing all of that, that's it.
Right. Sneak this path.
Drew, Zoo Knoxville has an awesome new exhibit coming. It's called the ARC Campus, ARC. It's the Amphibian and Reptile Center, and it looks like they're going to have caiman and maybe even gharials. I mean, they're going to have all kinds of turtles. But yeah, it's called the ARC Campus.
Nice. That sounds interesting.
Really, really awesome looking. Yeah, it's like you're gonna walk through it, and the water is gonna be like level with your head, and it's like a totally indoor. I mean, it looks like it's gonna be insane. Indoor, outdoor type of enclosure.
Right.
With
that sounds cool.
Tons and tons of animals. Yeah.
Hey, shout out to Halloween Sorry, I mispronounced your name, but first time coming into the stream, they're chilling, sitting back with a cup of tea, enjoying themselves. Welcome in, my friend.
Enjoying some tea.
Nice. Enjoy your tea there. Welcome in. Force of habit for putting the paths down. Yeah, it is. You're not wrong. If we pretend everything was rainbows, they wouldn't realize anything was wrong. Also, again, we are complaining, but we will also buy anything they put out and appreciate anything they improve. You're not wrong. Exactly. Pen Kitten
said, I just bought tickets to the Woodland Park Zoo in Seattle.
Oh, nice. You got to give us a little update on Twitter or Discord or something like that. I always love to see live zoo pictures or current zoo pictures there.
Yes, we need zoo pictures, please.
Our zoo, Calgary. Oh, I love the Calgary Zoo. I took a lot of inspiration, or I was going to take inspiration from it because they have a really cool reptile house for my reptile house, but I has to send out our pandas back to China because of COVID. They can't get bamboo shipments. We just got them last year too. Ouch, that sucks too for your city, because typically with those things, the cities have to shell out like $20 million to get the pandas to their zoos for like 2 years or something short like that. So yeah, that's a big bummer.
And the pandas are always on loan from China.
You can never buy them.
Zoos can't buy them.
Nope.
We've got red pandas in Zoo Knoxville. They're insanely cute.
Now that's different though, right? It's just the giant panda that.
Right, I believe so.
Okay,
the red pandas can be bred and traded and sold around to the different zoos, traded.
Mm-hmm.
But the big pandas,
no. China has those business smarts. I know we should do the same thing with like the United States should do the same thing with like bald eagles or something like that.
Yeah.
Just be like, you want to see this? $2 million per bird, buddy. Yeah, man. China's like the ultimate capitalist, even though they're communist. What?
Yeah.
So anyways, demonetized. But yeah, Calgary Zoo. If you haven't, I don't know if you've checked out Calgary Zoo too much, Stan, but that's a fantastic looking zoo.
I haven't. I'll have to Google that. One zoo that I've been Googling a lot, you all, I believe it is the Henry Dory Zoo.
Henry Dory. That sounds familiar. Where's that at?
Or I might not be saying that right. The Henry Dorley. It's in Omaha, Nebraska. And it is like my dream zoo. Like I must get there one day. Drew, it was that zoo that I was sending you the concept art for the sea lions and the Pacific Northwest.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
Enclosure. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure I used that.
Yeah, I even have it on one of my thumbnails on a video from not too long ago. But all of that is from Henry Dorley, and it seems like an insanely awesome zoo.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I used their concept art for one of my zoo design videos back in the day. Hold on, I'm gonna look it up real quick. Sea lions. Sea Leon.
Omaha, Henry Dorley Zoo Sea Lions.
There it is. Oh, it's under construction right now. That's actually here. Let me.
Well, I think they may have opened it over the summer. Like even with all this going on. I want to say they may have finished it.
It's almost ready. This was June 22nd, 2020. So it's still under construction. But they say it's nearly ready. Oh, actually, that was in June. Okay, here's a picture of it there.
I want to see it finished, man.
Yeah, that looks intense. I love the theme. It looks like they have some really cool, like, rickety theming and stuff. Yeah, that looks really cool. Yeah. Love the direction that zoos are going in as far as their habitats and stuff like that go.
Right. Like I was saying last night, they're really kind of shifting to an animal kingdom type flair. They all want to do that, over the top theming now, and it just seems so much cooler for the animals too, because it's just. And now instead of packing so many animals in, they're having fewer animals, but they're giving them like as close to as what they could experience in the wild as possible.
Sure.
Like, it's just that part's really, really cool.
You know something, speaking of Animal Kingdom, I found out, I think it was either today or yesterday, a YouTube video I saw, that Animal Kingdom actually has a bad reputation in the zoo world. Because when it first opened, I don't think it does anymore, but when it first opened, Animal Kingdom like poached a lot, if not like all of the top zookeepers and veterinarians and stuff like that from all the different zoos around the world. And mainly the United States.
And remember, Drew, they were like letting animals die by like not getting out certain plants out of their exhibits, and the animals were eating them and dying.
And that's when they went around and started getting all these new zookeepers and stuff like that. And then like zoos were like, dude, we don't have any like veterinarians or zookeepers anymore. Because Disney stole them all, basically. So what are we supposed to do? So I guess there was like a mini like outcry against Disney for like doing that, and just how they had a vacuum of zookeepers and stuff for like half a decade or something.
Well, Michael Eisner pushed that through.
One of the few areas that he finally was able to spend money, or that he wanted to spend money.
Yeah.
Now, Porcupine, I'm just trying to make this like
Savannah said, Yep, it was a huge issue when they first opened.
Oh, so you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, I was only there for the Stampede. I live about 500 miles from the Calgary Zoo. Oh, okay, that's a pretty distance. Edmonton has an amazing sea lion.
Yeah, Tove said, yeah, it turns out Pluto and Daffy can't do animal welfare.
Yeah. Exactly. Porcupine, I feel like I've seen a porcupine habitat in a zoo before, but they were literally in like a bird cage kind of thing. So we're doing a little bit better than that. But if I remember right, yeah, it's like a lot of like ground coverage, like a lot of brush for it to kind of hide in and stuff like that. So
just want real birds.
But they're not real birds. I want real birds.
Just want to see them flying around.
We can't have real birds though.
That's why I almost crapped my pants when I saw that Prehistoric Kingdom trailer.
I would definitely put myself on a crap my pants level when I saw the Prehistoric Kingdom trailers. Yeah, no, like right when I saw that black like crow looking thing flying around, I was like, you have got to be fucking kidding me.
That's what I was kind of like too. It's like if Planet Zoo would have been in the room with me, I would have given one of them slow motion side
yes.
eye.
Just
like,
looked at him like,
you see this?
Be like, what are y'all fucking doing? Like, let's go.
You know what? The best thing you can do is get away from me right now.
Just leave right now. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, then Planet Zoo tweeted out like a zoo fact or something, and I'm like,
I saw that.
I swear to God.
And I was like, dude, have you ever heard of the term read the room? Because y'all just did the complete opposite of reading the room.
Have y'all ever heard of read the room?
Because Jesus.
We do not care how far a coyote's poop has to fall from its butthole.
Right.
We want birds.
Jeez. But did you know that bison look really cool in the tundra biome by Planet Zoo today? Shut up.
Awesome.
Jeez. Now I'm excited.
Tove said, yeah, and the resizing of the rock, LOL. Yeah, that was another shit moment.
I'm a huge Disney fan, but not a fan of how they started that park. It's much better now, but definitely didn't start off on the right foot. Yeah, that's what I was reading or saw the video on, and I'm glad that they kind of it looks like they kind of gave back a bit to the zoo world after kind of realizing their mistakes or just being right by themselves kind of thing. But yeah, not the best way to start your new zoo park off in the zoo community.
Yeah.
Right, let's get a little bit more ground coverage and we'll get some, probably no flowers or anything, because I don't want our porcupine to eat something it's not supposed to. Speaking of
Bluefin Manta said, depends on the species of porcupine you're exhibiting. New World porcupines are arboreal, while Old World porcupines are more terrestrial.
Gotcha. So, okay, just to sound dumb, arboreal is like they're in trees and stuff, right? Like they hang out in trees. Okay, yeah, so this is going to be an older one because... I'm glad you mentioned if it was an older one or not, because this reptile house is very, very old, and it's kind of in the process. If we go on the inside here, I just released an episode on this, so if y'all haven't caught it yet, go ahead and catch it. I wanted the inside of this to kind of look like late 90s, early 2000s, kind of a little bit on the interior, while the exterior is still like that old world kind of thing. Because yeah, this is supposed to be a really old structure for the zoo that kind of goes under renovations like every 10 to 20 years. So the habitat on the outside here will kind of be the same thing, where it hasn't been updated quite yet. So yeah, that's...
You know, Bluefin makes an interesting point. I only thought like Old World and New World talk like had to do with tarantulas. I didn't know that, like, you know, porcupines and stuff like that was like they could be categorized like that. That's
right. Well, and I'm starting to kind of...
I just always heard it spoke from a tarantula standpoint.
Interesting.
Old World and New World.
Right. I've only kind of started to kind of get up on that stuff again. I mentioned it last night because of Eben and his work with Mike and John in Season Zoo of their Bro Coaster and everything. Just listen to him kind of talk about the evolution of, you know, zoo habitats and just, yeah, all that stuff over time and stuff like that. It's kind of really interesting stuff.
Man, Eben is like a master that is so underrated, like as far as what he's able to do. Don't you agree? Like,
oh yeah, it's funny because like there's him and Wyatt and a few others that I can't think of off the top of my head. A few of you are in chat here, but that when they first got the game, you could totally tell like they were building in Planet Coaster or Planet zoo scale, like it was way out of scale, and you know, all this different kind of stuff. And then once they kind of start like figured out like, okay, now I understand how to like mold the game to what I want to do, then it's just like the floodgates opened for them, and
which,
they just
which you know, and it's kind of like what you just said. That is the difference of people that have a good time with this game and people that don't. If you're able to mold the game around your style and what you want to make happen, you're golden. You can do it forever.
oh yeah,
But
don't let this game tell you what to
can't-
do.
yeah, like don't stay in this game's parameters. If you can push through it and find your own way and your own style, you'll have 1,000 hours in this game.
It was so much fun.
It's just one of those deals if you can stick with it.
I've mentioned it
discourage you.
a bunch of times during streams and stuff like that. People ask, you know, how do you build the stuff that you do, yada yada, how do you get good at the game, whatever. And it's really not a big secret. It's like maybe 3 or 4 things, and like you got it. It's piece recognition. I think piece recognition is great. So if I'm sitting here building and I'm like, you know, I need to put a door on this structure right here, like, okay, I know where the doors are, I know what kind of door I want to put, like I want to put this kind of door, and bam. Or you know, you're building something and you're like, I need a small like circular piece that's kind of glossy looking, like, oh, I know, I can go to my art shapes and I have this piece, and bam, there we got it, kind of thing. So like piece recognition is really good. And I just completely forgot all my other ones that like I was gonna mention, but just putting the time in. It's just really putting the time in. Oh yeah, that's the thing. And yeah, not letting the game dictate what you have to do, kind of thing.
Right.
Like, I mean, this whole thing right here, if you look, I don't have any paths down for the game, right? So I mean, some of you, that might be discouraging to be like, okay, but I want to have guests walking over here, and that's just a difference of play style. But like for me, and I know Estan a little bit and others, we view this as like a diorama, a miniature railroad builder, basically. Where cool if the guests are able to walk on stuff, awesome, but if not, I'm just gonna flub it. I'm gonna use my imagination and just make it work.
We're after those visuals, and like that's just the style. That's how we play it. And that's what you said. It was cool how Ivan really learned the techniques of this so quick. You know, Ivan, he did some awesome work in Koali. Like, you know, Sylv and Rudy, they did really cool stuff. But when Ivan came in under the direction of Mike, that hotel interior, like my jaw was on the floor. And, you know, I see cool stuff in Planet Zoo. Don't get me wrong. You know, Simply Savannah, you know, Leaf, Toves, but Zekin, but what Ivan was able to do with that hotel interior, that was some next level stuff that
Absolutely.
I have not seen done.
Yep.
And that really caught my attention. And honestly, you guys, I don't watch a lot of Planet Zoo videos nowadays. I catch Simply Savannah and, you know, a couple people, but that would just like floored me. I sat here for like for that whole 45-minute episode, whenever that Saturday was, they put that out, and watched that whole thing, just like, yeah, just jaw on the floor.
Absolutely. And yeah, I mean, touching on Mike and stuff like that, I'm really glad that those two got connected, because
Right.
that's, like you said, that's kind of what even needed there, a little kick in the, like, okay, man, you have the know-how, you know what's up, but here's how to do it.
Yes, you need to put this all together. Let's get you focused. And I think Mike, that was just an awesome pair for those couple of episodes.
I'm going to catch up real quick here. Piece recognition is huge, says Simply Savannah. I jumped back into Planco the other day after a couple of years, heard that, and couldn't build anything because I knew what I wanted to build, but the pieces I wouldn't come to mind. Yeah, I totally understand that. I do the opposite sometimes still. When I'm in excuse me, when I'm in Planet Zoo, I'm like, man, I know that we have this black lantern in the game. Nope, that's in Planet Coaster. Shoot, we don't have that. You know, I find myself doing that a lot, where I'm like, man, I need this Planet Coaster piece in Planet Zoo right now, or the opposite or whatever. But yeah, totally understand that. Guess y'all open your zoos or take them off pause? I just started to take, I have guests in the zoo right now, but I have it on pause still, and a lot of that is just for scaling. I don't know if y'all have been watching, but like right here, I kind of keep guests near objects that I build so I can make sure that they're in scale and stuff like that. Which is another big point that I didn't mention, speaking of really helpful tools. Making your objects in guest scale is really hard and easy to do at the same time, but it really increases your builds dramatically. Get your buildings kind of in guest scale there. And if you don't know what I mean, just really a quick little show. When you put down a 4-meter wall, a lot of people think that's a story tall or whatever, and they're like, okay, there we go. And then you'll build this structure with like 2 of them and put a roof on it. And by the time you're done and you go and look at it, you're like, man, something is just off about this structure right now. What's off? And the thing is that it's fucking huge. That's what's wrong with it, is that it needs to be like, honestly, like take it down like that, and this is still too big. But look at it compared to a guest. Yeah, no, just look at it compared to a guest. Like, this is kind of how tall it should be. Usually about 3 meters. So 3 meters is usually pretty good. So if you want to think of it like that, I usually do it with a 2 meter.
Even that is still a little too tall, for the guests at least.
Yeah, no, you're not exactly. So, I mean, I'll do 3 meters with the roof on it, and that is still even a little bit tall. You still need to bring that down just a little bit. Just think of when you go to your house or go to a convenience store, the fucking... the wall isn't like, wow, look at this wall.
The gas station doesn't have 18-foot ceilings in the damn thing.
Exactly. So just kind of like, a lot of times, a lot of builders will start with a door. Like this structure here, this was the start of my structure. Right here was this door, because a door is about the size of a person, right? So start with the door and then kind of go from there. So that's a big one. I feel like scale is a really big one. Poison Blade, sorry for being gone, had to go over to my PC. No worries, buddy.
Oh, I binge watch Poison Blade 2, specifically Cayenne al-Bashar.
Is that pronounced correctly?
Probably not.
Probably. See, I wouldn't even try and pronounce it, but it's a great series.
Cayenne al-Bashar.
It's a great series.
I love to hear him say that.
I know it.
The video.
Wait, there are guests in Planet Zoo? Oh, you are the open your zoo type. Yeah, we're those people.
I spent like $2,500 on this computer. I can let guests in now. So if you want to go take out a loan or get you a credit card, you could let guests in the zoo too. But you just need you like a 2080 Ti and i7. Right. Go into debt, and you can let your guests in.
Yeah, I was doing pretty good there. Oh, what? That's not Ivy. I was doing pretty good there with letting guests in the zoo for a long time, up until, and you know what? It's Wyatt and Carlos's fault. Those bastards for being great builders. Because yeah, after I got the Sheets aquarium back. Oh, I forgot I was going to show you the interior of that. You wanted to see the inside.
Oh yeah, you got to show me that aquarium.
So after I got the Sheets aquarium back from Wyatt, it started to slow down a bit. So. But it's definitely warranted because it's amazing. Let me turn the lights off real quick. Yeah.
Drew, you got trash all over the place.
I know, my fucking dudes won't pick up anything and whatever. Fuck, screw them.
They're probably drunk.
They're probably drunk. They're just... So...
Damn, this is awesome.
I can't believe this is in my zoo. And then he didn't stop...
I know, I want this.
He didn't stop there. He went over here and made the interior for, let me turn the lights on. Made the interior for this sea lion habitat as well. Like, yeah, he went ape shit basically. So he did that, and then Carlos, that beautiful bastard, took my.
Carlos is a genius. Carlos is daddy.
He's bae. Yeah. Carlos took my forests of Africa and just, turned it on its head and turned it up to 1 million, basically.
Could you imagine, like, if Mike didn't have to worry about work and him and Carlos just made a zoo?
Oh my gosh.
We just gave them like 5 months and told those two to go off and make a zoo and show us when you're done.
Yeah, him, Eben, Carlos, and just like a handful of dudes, just like, go. Have fun, come back in a few months, let us know what you come up with. Because, I mean, man, I just came up, like, when I saw all this stuff that he built, I'm just like, man, I have so many ideas now. I'm just going to...
And when they show that stuff, or people will, like, message me and say, oh, my God, Stan, I freaking love your builds. I'm like, guys, I am trash.
Like, yeah, I appreciate that, but...
Discord, look what these guys are doing. My builds will make you vomit.
Right. I mean,
go check them out.
Even their backstage stuff, like, are you ready for this? Like, when it catches up to you, like, even Carlos's backstage stuff, I'm just like, fuck me. Like, I need to stop playing.
Yo, I'm like, yeah, go watch Cayenne al-Bashar.
Poison Blade even said, wait, Estan does know how to roll the R. Not many know how to roll the R in Bashar.
See?
Yeah, I can't do it. I can't do it. I was the worst in Spanish class. Oh my gosh. I was the worst in Spanish class.
I love the name of that zoo.
But yeah, no, between Wyatt and Carlos now, I can't unpause the zoo. And if I do, the game kind of every 5 to 10 seconds, like hiccups. It's just like, I gotta stop and catch up. So, all right, let's get back to building. Enough gawking at other builders who are amazing. Let's build our own
get out
stuff.
of here.
Jeez. Oh, but yeah, look at our little porcupine. I actually like how this looks a lot better now. A little porcupine habitat. Let's put up some trees, finish this area up. What time is it?
It is 9:12. Oh man, we're about to have to skedaddle here soon.
Yep, I was about to say, I'm gonna put down some trees, put some benches and stuff down, and oh, excuse me, kind of pack it up for the day. So let's see what kind of trees will look good around here. We're gonna use the natural trees. I kind of have a natural foliage palette. That's a good thing to do too. I don't know if many people do that. We did it a lot in Planet Coaster, but picking a color, or not a color, a foliage palette for your builds. If you're kind of going if you're kind of going for like a realistic build, I would say this more so pertains to you. But yeah, so like for me in Thornton Hills Zoo, this is set in northern Illinois, southern Wisconsin area. So the foliage that I've been using, I've been consciously trying to use trees that would survive in that kind of climate, right? So that kind of can add a lot to a build as well. If you're not just kind of spamming random trees everywhere, but actually have like only 5 to 6 different kind of trees that kind of inhabit your zoo, you kind of get a nice forest or foliage palette kind of going through.
Bold said, if Carlos's daddy doesn't end up on a shirt, why are we even here? God, it's 3:13 a.m. where Poison Blade's at, and
what
it is 2 a.m. where Toves is at. We have got to do some like early weekend streams for our European buddies.
On Saturdays, I definitely will be doing it. During the week, I'll be kind of sporadically doing streams, along with Estan and stuff like that, but Saturdays.
During the week, guys, I don't really get home until like 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard, so I really can't do it much earlier than 6:30, 7 o'clock.
Right, but no, on weekends though,
Sundays, I'm thinking about maybe getting up, and so if we hit you guys up at like 8, that's 9, 10, 11, 12. That's like 1-ish for a lot of Europe. 12, 1, 2, everybody can still be up. That'd be cool.
Because we definitely I don't know, we don't mention this a lot, but we definitely appreciate our European, community over there and everything. We don't take y'all for granted. We see, we have analytics. If you're not on YouTube, we have analytics to show us where our viewers come from and all that fun stuff. And we see you Europeans. We see you.
I think the Europeans are more engaging than our American crowd.
Oftentimes. Too. Yep.
Like Americans, like over here, like they got so much shit going on and so much stuff they watch, but Europeans seem like they really just take this more serious and just have more fun with it.
Well, I think the niche is more European kind of thing. The builder and like the tycoon and stuff. I think it's a lot bigger over in Europe overall, and not just Europe. I know we keep saying Europe, but that area of the world kind of thing. And
I honestly think they have longer attention spans than we do.
We're all hopped up on sugar, so
they really get invested in these series and stuff, whether they're watching it or they're building it themselves.
Right. Yep. No. Totally. I need to put a sign up. I just realized for porcupines, and
Simply Savannah's got to take off too. We're gonna be taking off here in a few minutes, but thank all you guys for stopping by. If you're logging off to go start some snoring.
Yeah, right. Let's go ahead and do that. We'll go ahead and end with we'll hang out with our reindeer here, and we'll wrap up the stream there. So let's hang out with Rudolph over here. Is that Rudolph? Yeah, close enough there. So we'll hang out with our little reindeer buddies. Looks like, you can tell that Zookeeper hasn't been up here in a long time because I disconnected the Zookeeper path. Whoops. Anyways.
Really got a pretty good bit done. I need to, next time I stream, I need to focus a little more on actually showing people like what I'm doing and try to get some stuff done.
You kind of get into the hang of it there. You know, it's not streaming is a whole different ball game, man. It'll take a little bit, but it definitely helps when you got a compadre there to kind of read chat and chill out and everything with everyone. But yeah, so hey, you know, everyone, let me catch up with chat there before we bounce out of here. But if you haven't already, be sure to hit the subscribe button there so you stay up to date with all the Brookfield Zoo recreation, Thornton Hills Zoo. Today we uploaded a new game on my channel, Train Station Renovation. Yes, it's not a Planet Series game. I'm actually going to be doing, I have another game, Townscaper, that's going to be going up tomorrow as well. So a whole new bunch of games are going to be coming on.
Oh.
So, but yeah, let's catch up here. Porcupine habitat looks like it needs a small shelter for its non-existent occupant. Blue Manta, I think you're correct there. I'm going to add that off stream. That's a good recommendation there. What else do we have here? 2 a.m. I'm chilling with my tea. Poison Blade, it's as S tier for sure. Yeah, oh, different tier levels. Yeah, Mike is an S tier for sure. Poison Blade is S tier. S-Dan's F tier though. He sucks.
Damn it.
That's kind of
I'm trash.
We're just trash. We're just trash. And yeah, funny for me, most peeps watching for me are in the US, isn't it? Yeah, that is kind of interesting. They like your accent. I think that's what it is. We just like opposite accents.
I can't help. I sound like my dad's my cousin. All right.
Yeah, that's just how we are in the States. We all sound like our dads. So, but cool. Well, hey man, let's go ahead and we're gonna bounce out of here, everyone. Again, if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel, subscribe to SDN's channel as well, because we're kind of bouncing back and forth doing the podcast, doing some streams and everything. So we're just kind of making it a fun little hangout and everything. So yeah, for sure, we'll be back on Saturday on my stream here, or on my channel for a stream Saturday morning around 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. And SDN, you're gonna probably stream a few more times during the week as well, right?
Probably gonna try. Yep.
Yep.
I'm kind of addicted.
You're addicted. There it is. So, hey, thanks so much, everyone. Y'all are fantastic. And we will talk to you guys and ladies later on. Have a good one.